All right, I think we're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to a very special live episode of the Waffle Press Movie Hangouts. I'm your host, Diego Crespo. With me today is my co host, Gina Versa. Gene, while I
Hey.
spread this over social medias,
Mhm.
please introduce our wonderful guests.
Yeah, no, we got some great guests with us. Almost happy New Year right now, but first, I think to my left first is from IGN, Nick Limon. Nick, how you doing?
Hey, doing well, man. Hopefully less tummy aches this time for me.
It's all good. It's all good. And then we have our other co-host, Max Deering. How you doing? Finally in the right time zone.
Fine. The right time zone. Well, technically, this computer it's still 9 o'clock in Virginia. So,
Oh,
um,
okay.
but I'm good. I'm good. It's good to be in Cali. I just had my second like full day here, and I'm having a good time. It was good to see Diego yesterday, and excited to meet you too, Dean, here in a few days.
Tomorrow,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow. Happy early New Year's, everyone.
Yep.
Yeah, so from the title of the episode, if it changed the title finally, because Gene and I were trying to see whether or not the title changed, it looks like
yeah.
it did. That we're talking our top five favorite movies of the year, but I also want to talk about like favorite discoveries we've all made. I mean, it's been a pretty busy year, for better and worse for everyone. I feel like, and that always happens. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. I think every year has its ups and downs. Life comes in waves, and I hope you're all riding it fruitfully because you all deserve nothing but joy and happiness. Maybe not all of you, but most of you,
Yeah.
most of you do. Um,
Only the cool ones.
the cool ones. If you're not a dick, you deserve good vibes
Mhm.
your way. If you are a dick, go fuck yourself. No. Well, yeah, go fuck yourself. But no one here's a dick. None of our listeners, I don't think, are dicks.
I don't think so. I
No,
think
no, I don't think so. No. Thank you to our Patreon subscribers. um, on the outline, I asked you guys to think about stuff like non-film discoveries as well, and I'm curious if anyone has any favorite non-film discoveries, be it like TV shows, video games, hobbies. Uh, I'll take funny anecdotes if
Mhm.
if you got that too. Does anything spring to mind while I continue retweeting and taking care of the social medias for this episode?
No, of course. Who wants to go first?
Yeah, I mean, I could jump in there.
Yeah, yeah.
I think the big one for me is I know this is primarily a movie focused show, but as far as TV stuff goes, I'm pretty picky when it comes to TV shows. I watch a lot of TV shows. I rarely talk about most of them just because I don't really find most of them of note. I'll get the basic stuff out of the way first. Like I think Shogun was wonderful. I thought that was an absolute delight this year. And just cinematic in all ways that I think that TV should strive to be when utilizing its episodic format and doing some really cool stuff. And honestly, the coolest thing about Shogun to me, I'm a big sucker for localization video games and how things translate from one language to another. And I was super fascinated by the way Shogun handled the translation scenes where, we have our English speaking character who is doesn't speak a lick of Japanese, who is getting messages from a higher up in Japanese, then going through a translator who then is watering things down, embellishing things, and really making them easier to swallow for someone who doesn't speak the native tongue. But me being the weeb that I am, I know a little bit of Japanese where I'm like, okay, that's not exactly what that dude said. So there's some interesting filtering going on there. And I really love the way the show was like, that was kind of one of the core tenets of the show, is how we filter messages through one another, not only on a person-to-person telephone basis, but how cultural differences and how language doesn't really have the same kind of connective tissue that our own native tongue might have. So I just really dug a lot of the stuff that Shogun was doing. Not to mention just some of the wildest kills I've seen in a long time. Cannonball kill, I don't have to go any further. That was incredible.
I need to see the show now.
Yeah.
It's
not
very
to share.
good.
Yeah, I did finally end up checking it out, and yeah, it is very good. I'm also very picky when it comes to television. Not that I'm like, I saw some takes this year have gotten worse, obviously for lots of reasons, right? But some people were saying rather that television's not really for art. It's that, that's that. I won't say they refer to it as content, but they've definitely the direction of that conversation. And I don't agree with that, but I also do think it's hard to make good long form television. And Shogun, which was planned as a miniseries, and I guess is coming back for a second season, is very well made and very impressive. I remember back at Gene and I's high school, I saw that original miniseries. And I was like, oh, that was really good. I cannot tell you how it holds up now. Obviously, I haven't revisited it, but the retelling of the book, not the remake of the show, was very good and very impressive. And I'm really glad I watched it. That's one I think everyone kind of got right. I don't need to come in with a hot take and be like, oh, it's actually not that good. No, it was very good and very, very well done stuff.
It's good.
Yeah. How about you, Matt?
I'll concur. Shogun was. Yeah, it was great. That hit me right in my little kick of doing my first Kurosawa, which was Seven Samurai, and then also Ghost of Tsushima dropped on PC. So I had a solid like month and a half of just like only into samurai stuff. But in terms of me, can I say Alan Wake 2?
Ooh, good choice.
Yeah.
I opened up January 1st with that and Strange Days, so that was a bit weird. But no, I played Alan Wake 2 this year, and it's the one thing that I haven't shut up about. So yeah, best movie of the year is Alan Wake 2. Sorry to 2024, you better luck next year. When Alan Wake 2 also reigns supreme. No, I'm kidding. No, but I've always been a big Remedy fan, and yeah, Alan Wake 2 just it hit every creative it hit the creative membrane of me. It hit the horror part of me. Like it hit all those things. I loved it. And then I had a great time with that. In terms of like other not even like TV or video game related media, I don't know how long I've been following them, but if nobody ever knows, I tend to share concept art or just drawings, paintings, what have you, because I find it to be very, I like it. It's the source of inspiration for me. And there's this artist, because I saw Nosferatu last night, but I have known them for a while, but I don't know when I started following them. Their name is Maena Paillet. It is Maenapaillet. They're an artist, and they have some really incredible, dark, macabre, gothic work. And I was showing a friend of mine it back in Virginia, and I really love their work. If it's hard to look up, just look up like the French covers of The Witcher, and you should see their name pop up. And that's what they did. And they have some incredible like gothic image artwork that I would really like to have if Super let me have it. Yeah. But I like concept art on the side, and their stuff has really like started to speak to me this year, especially in light of seeing Nosferatu last night. So I highly recommend give them a look. They have some incredible compositions.
I'm taking a look at their stuff right now as you said it, and the first thing that comes to mind, not to compare like artist to artist or anything, but it just reminds me so much of a similar artist named Anato Finstark, who does a lot of like Dark Souls inspired art, Berserk, Lord of the Rings, Magic the Gathering artwork, and sure enough, Anato Finstark is following Maena, so it all is connective and connected. So that's very, very fun.
Nice.
But to go to Alan Wake 2 though, real quick, that was I'm really bad with time, and totally fine that it was this year for you. That was last year, right? I'm not tripping.
Yeah, it was
right. Okay, yes, Alan Wake 2 is phenomenal from beginning to end. The first DLC, I was like, okay, this was cute, but the second one, the Lake House DLC, was outstanding. One thing that I really loved about Alan Wake 2 is that, the entire series has worn proudly on its sleeve its inspiration from Twin Peaks. And I think that Alan Wake 2 really doubles down on that, on those scenes where you transition from Saga to Alan via puddles of water. It is straight up Twin Peaks The Return when Cooper is going through the Dark Lodge, and it's like distorted, like anthropomorphic, like analog TV stuff. And it's just like, dude, Sam Lake is so cool. And he's doing like Alan Wake 2 as a whole is just such a wonderful exercise in like mixed media art. And it's just wild that they get to hopefully continue doing stuff like that. And it looks like they will with what they've got down the line. But yeah, Alan Wake 2 is a banger. We were chatting before we started. Diego, if you haven't played that one, you absolutely should.
Yeah, no, Max has been hyping me up for that forever. I played the original Alan Wake way back when it first came out, and I liked it, but I feel like my interests have like grown in that direction so much more that I'm like, I bet I'm gonna love it more than I ever have before. And I played Control, which
see,
I like a lot. So
you did all of your homework, dude. You're ready
Yeah.
to go.
yeah. So I'm just ready to I'm ready to go. Exactly. Yeah, Gene, how about you? Any discoveries or anything of the sort?
Yeah, I think I was reading more comics this year.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Please, no, we don't
Reading
do this.
more.
I mean, you do on your show,
Yeah.
Serving of Comic,
No,
which is great.
yeah.
And you please plug that, and everyone go check out Gene's stuff over there, interviews and reviews. But yeah, please continue. Sorry, just wanted to hype that up.
Of course. Yeah, so I got into some more comics, so a lot of graphic novels. I think I was reading a lot of like Chip Zdarsky sort of stuff, like Batman, The Knight, New Frontier. I think it feels nicer to read DC Comics when I don't know, people seem to have like a plan, or I don't know. They just announced the same guy as Lobo, so that was interesting. Jason Momoa again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. Sorry,
Mhm.
we don't have to talk about that today, but
No.
I'm
it's all
sure
right.
we will have plenty of time to talk about that in the future. That stuff's not going away. So
Yeah, but no, love a lot of comic art, so that was kind of my thing this year. So I don't know. A lot of DC stuff really. Some Marvel like King in Black, but really got to I think just kind of dwell into comics this year. So
okay, no Ultimate Spider-Man, no Hickman
Ultimate
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yeah, I feel like I've talked about that one so much, so I was
Yeah.
kind of giving it a rest. But yeah, Ultimate Spider-Man is great. The issue 12 just came out. It's a full year of just nothing but banger issues.
This is the one with Peter with the beard, right?
Yeah, it's basically he's a dad. It's kind of like the Matrix with Spider-Man because he had his whole life not being bitten by the spider.
Got it.
He only gets powers later, so he's kind of like Neo coming back.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, coming.
Yeah.
I've been interested in that one, and like I've heard, I was drawn in because of the ridiculous design, but I've heard it's good. Is Absolute Batman, which is just a roided out Gears of War Batman. I was like, okay, this is kind of interesting. Ultimate Spider-Man and Absolute Batman I've been meaning to check out. So thank you for the encouragement to kick my butt and actually read some more comics.
No, yeah, of course. I was like, I think Nick, if you like Matrix Resurrections,
Oh, I love it.
yeah, you like Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah. I didn't make the Resurrections comparison at all, but I really love that, Gene. I'd never put that together. That's a good touchstone.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
It is a great movie. People are weird about that one.
Mhm.
But
Drop him real quick. I'm sorry. I should also mention I watched Twin Peaks for the first time this year. And
There you go.
Sorry, I should have rolled that up with the Alan Wake 2 talk. I thought about I forget his name. I apologize. Tell you how much I really loved it. But during the final 2 episodes, what's his name? Dad, the general, when he has him.
Marlon Briggs.
Marlon Briggs, and he asks, "What do you fear most?" And he says, "The potential that love is not enough has like sat with me every day since I've heard it, and it is a scary thought to have. And that is an incredible show, and I can't wait to get the return. Hopefully next year."
I'm very excited for the ride you're going to go on because I'm actually doing a rewatch myself. I'm in the middle of the return right now. I just devoted like 3 whole days to Fire Walk with Me because I like to do Fire Walk with Me, and then I like to watch The Missing Pieces as its own standalone movie. And then I actually have uncovered a fan edit that combines The Missing Pieces elegantly into Fire Walk with Me. It ends up turning into about a 4.5 hour long movie, but it's really, really fun. very bloated. I understand why they were removed, and they work better, I think, separate. But at this point, if you're in a completionist run, I'd highly recommend it.
I really got to check that out. Yeah, I was gonna hype up the Hickman Spider-Man stuff, and I will for 1 second. I'll just say, as someone who's been a hater of the Spider-Man comics for the last 10 plus years, I think they've been pretty terrible consistently. This got me picking it up monthly again. It is fantastic and really beautifully written, and very much a Spider-Man for the now. So go to that. For Twin Peaks, I gotta say, Nick, it's great to hear you talk about like this old vintage analog material with your television behind you with the flickering. Perfect mood setter. Fantastic. Was that planned? I gotta ask.
No, never.
Okay,
but
that was
any
great.
excuse to showcase my TV, I'll always gladly figure out a way to shoehorn it in.
Yeah, no, great work. And yeah, Max, when you get to the return next year, I know you're gonna be messaging me. You're gonna be texting me about your reactions because that shit is crazy. And
can I just say also that thinking of the flickering oh man, I just forgot it. Flickering TV. You know what? Never mind. Sorry, this is a live show and I feel like a dummy. I had
no, you're doing great.
All good, it's all good. We're doing it live.
Flickering TV. Is it perhaps something about a TV glowing?
No, we get into that.
Yeah, we will get into that. All right, enough anecdotes. We got to get into our top 5 because I don't want to keep you guys here all night. So we're wrapping up the year. We got to wrap up this podcast. Not yet, obviously. We're just getting started. But everyone.
Wait. I got it. I got it. Sorry, I got it. I remember.
Right.
So I'm reading this book with Sue, my partner. It's called Silver Nitrate. I'm staring at it across the room, and I'm not getting up to get it. It's very good so far. It's well, I wanted to shout out the author's name, and I can't. But whatever. It's called Silver Nitrate. It's by this prolific, I believe, Mexican American author, and it's about this film editor and her actor buddy in the '90s in Mexico, and they find this former director of like 1950s horror films that they really love, and they're helping him to complete his a movie he didn't get to finish because guess what? His movie that failed to complete had a Nazi occultist screenwriter on it who mysteriously died, and thus bad stuff started to happen when the film didn't finish. And I don't know about everybody else, but I feel like if you throw a Nazi into something, you're like, okay. You throw a Nazi occultist into it, and you're like, I would like to know more. And I got to this sequence a few days ago where they described the process of silver nitrate film. And because it has silver in it, silver is good for runic magic. And the occultist basically thought that he could use audiences as a battery to make his spell to life. And I don't know. It's been sitting around in my head like the past few days. I'm like, that's really fucking cool. I'm gonna put that down somewhere because I can save that for the future. But yeah, in terms of a book, Silver Nitrate, it's pretty good so far, and I recommend it. I haven't finished it, but the idea of using film to project your desires made manifest, especially when talking about something like Alan Wake 2, is very poignant and it's very good so far. Apologies, I had to get that out.
No apologies necessary.
That sounds awesome.
This section was about other discoveries non-film related, and that sounds fantastic. Like I want to pick that up now, which I think is the point of these recommendations.
Adding it to my cart right now.
There you go.
Wait, what's the author's name?
Silvia Moreno Garcia.
There we go. All right. She did Mexican Gothic, which I believe was also a big hit a few years ago. So
yeah, it was. Yeah. Okay, cool. Definitely got to check this out. Also, just what fucking great titles. Just easily like. They have a basis in reality, but they're attention catching, like Mexican Gothic, Silver Nitrate. Fantastic stuff. I got some responses before we hop into our top 5 of the year. For the record, for those interested in listening to this show and who will retweet this episode tomorrow once it's back up on YouTube, you will be entered in a giveaway to win the digital code for Alien Romulus. Yeah. So you got to retweet this episode. You got to respond with your top 5. To the allotted tweet I have made, and best of luck to you. I'll send it out before the clock strikes midnight tomorrow. I'll let the winner know. But first up, we got Drew Hunter, 15. Their top 5 is I Saw the TV Glow, Love Lies Bleeding, Challengers: Perfect Days, which is technically a 2023 film, but it didn't screen near them until this year, so it counts. And I kind of agree with that.
Yes.
And Look Back, which I've not seen. Has anyone seen Look Back? Yes?
Yes,
I haven't
that's it.
seen it.
That's in my top 5 spoilers.
Okay. Okay. I mean, do you want to do your top 5? Because I want to hear about this, frankly.
Well, I mean, now you threw me for a bit of a loop because Perfect Days. I was like, well, that came out last year. It says on Google 2023. I can't put it down, but let me just. I'll go through my quick honorable mentions because I was like, oh shoot, top 5 is crazy.
Yeah,
but I'll
yeah,
rattle
please
them
do.
off. I'll rattle off the 10 through 6, and then I'll figure out where to fit. I think I got it. Okay, number 10, Furiosa. 9, Trap. 8, Rebel Ridge. 7, Ultraman Rising, which I was very surprised by. Nosferatu, and then just bumped down now because of Perfect Days. I put Love Lies Bleeding. It was originally my number 5, but because I can fit in Perfect Days, my homie Koji Yakusho, I gotta get him in there in my top 5. But yeah, Nosferatu and Love Lies Bleeding, so close to making the cut. But yeah, good stuff all around. But as far as my top 5 goes, Perfect Days, a movie that I didn't particularly love, but I have not been able to stop thinking about it, which I think means something, is Evil Does Not Exist from Ryusuke Hamaguchi. I really, really have a lot to think about with that movie, and it stuck with me. So, hey, it means something. Number 3 is The Look Back. Number 2, Anora, and number 1, The Substance. Rewind a little bit to The Look Back. The Look Back is a short film adaptation of a one-shot manga from Tatsuki Fujimoto, the creator of Chainsaw Man. And this is his one-shot manga that he made just before Goodbye Eddie. It is essentially a movie about a young manga artist who decides that this is what she wants to do with her life, and then she meets a fellow background artist, and basically it's their journey from children to adulthood, trying to make their name in the manga business, as cutthroat as it is. It is a story about uncompromising, like, artistic vision. I think it's a very interesting companion piece to something like Whiplash, and it's just an absolute delight. It's about an hour long. I believe it's free to stream on Prime Video. I cannot recommend it enough. I think that when it was originally launched in its manga form, in its one-shot form, which is available for free if you're a subscriber on the Shonen Jump app, I promise I'm not sponsored by them. I just subscribe. It's like $2 a month. And it's just when you look at Tatsuki Fujimoto's like layouts and the way he formats all of his pages. One thing I saw a lot of people, I forget who's, I believe it might've been Gita Jackson, who runs, who helps oversee Aftermath, like a employee owned gaming website. And their observations was that Tatsuki Fujimoto does, he's very cinematic in the way he lays out all of his comic book paneling in ways that most comic book artists typically don't. And when I originally read The Look Back once upon a time ago, it just really struck me as like, dude, this would be such a good like adaptation. Should it ever happen? And then lo and behold, because I knew Chainsaw Man would be a huge deal when it finally was released here, inevitably they would go to his one shots for an adaptation. And this is just an outstanding one. It's so whimsical. It's so charming. It's so darkly hilarious. I cannot sing the praises of it enough. Which is why it's in my top 3.
Wow. Yeah. I had no idea about this, but I really got to check this out. Obviously I got Amazon Prime, so I should put that to use, while I'm waiting for Reacher season 3, of course.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a good pitch from Nick.
Yeah, no, fuck, man. This is great. Everyone, all 3 of you so far have brought like excellent pitches for stuff you really like, movies or otherwise. Yeah, okay. It's gonna be hard topping that hype, but let me read some more responses, and then we can move over to Max. At Ryan J. Lee 7, number 1, Challengers. Number 2, Furiosa. Number 3, Dune 2. Number 4, Trap. Number 5, Hitman, the Richard Linklater Hitman.
Oh yeah.
I feel like
Cool.
that movie kind of got swept under the radar a little bit at a certain point.
The Netflix algorithm just swept it and swept it back.
A little bit, and that's unfortunate because I also really like that movie.
Yeah,
I
it was
found it
good.
very charming, and mean, but like in a way
Yeah.
that I found also charming. Like I'm surprised. I was like, oh, you're ending like that, and people aren't rioting. This is awesome.
I mean,
Um,
it was an actual rom com where those don't exist anymore. Like it
Yeah.
was so it was
Yeah.
so charming and it went down smooth. You know, it's one of those movies I could see throwing on at a random party just to have something playing in the background, and everyone would have inevitably there'd be a moment in the party where everyone would kind of come to a pause and just find themselves accidentally watching a movie in silence.
Yeah, it's the cell phone scene. The cell phone scene was everyone in the party would lock in. You know, it's like I am trying to help you. You know, getting this stuff across. All right, our beloved at Billy Jarrett Ugg, hundreds of beavers, Trap, The Beekeeper, Love Lies Bleeding, Horizon. I feel like I didn't get to hype up Horizon enough. Not that I think it's like a grand slam of a movie, but I did like it, and I like Kevin Costner, and I'm like, yeah, he should be able to finish this. Like, just let him do that.
As someone who
Yeah.
thought it was okay, my biggest issue with the film is that final sizzle reel, which really like threw me for a loop and kind of low key pissed me off.
Hmm.
Sorry. I still really like it. I think about that shootout, that showdown at the top of the house of the hill a lot. And I do wish there was more love. There'll actually be another podcast I'll be appearing on here in a few weeks. It'll be released where I do ask one of the other people there about, hey, what's the deal with Horizon? Why is this the greatest thing ever? And I do think I might come off a bit like it wasn't that great, but like again, all of my issues really come down to that final sizzle reel. But the rest of it, I did really like. So, I mean, Zaslav, do the right thing. Put the rest out in theaters, or
Yeah, that's a tall order. That's a tall order from that guy. We're lucky we're
Yeah.
getting that Looney Tune movie.
I know that. Hey, we all better go out and fucking see that movie. That one doesn't do well. You know, who knows
He'll
what's
like
gonna
take
happen.
away animation forever.
Yeah, they're gonna just stop.
The
movies.
algorithm is gonna tell him no, don't release any more movies.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, we all kind of can assume they basically just deleted Coyote versus Acme, right? Like, they just didn't- I mean, I'm not saying this to be like funny. Like, I'm a little sad about it. Like, they just didn't
That
say what
yeah.
happened. That means like they probably didn't want the heat.
What do you mean
That-
empty recycle bin deletes it
Yeah.
forever?
Yeah.
that or they did like a Raiders of the Lost Ark, put it in a crate and put it in some like giant warehouse somewhere.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
the ending being studied by top men.
is that on your TV screen, Nick? Is that what is it? I was about to say Nine Inch Nails. What is that? I thought who is that? That's a music video, isn't it?
Oh no, I have my TV set to play random openings of games. Honestly, I won't
no.
know unless the title card hits.
I was thinking like it's Linkin Park or something. Like, oh shit, going
It's
back.
going
Sorry.
crazy down there. All right. One last one. Then I'm gonna toss it over to Max. Our pal of the show, Kale Smith. Number 1, Evil Does Not Exist. Number 2, Flow. Number 3, Memoirs of a Snail. Number 4, Civil War. Number 5, Conclave.
Mm,
Oh man, I still gotta catch Conclave.
it was
Yeah.
good.
It's good.
It was
You got
great.
24 hours. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Straight after this, just throw on. It's on streaming now too. I don't remember what it's on, but it's good. I didn't like that guy's previous movie, the All Quiet on the Western Front
no, I
adaptation.
didn't either.
Mm-mm.
No.
Yeah, I softballed disliking it when it came out, but now I'm like, fuck that movie. But Conclave is good. Conclave is a straight up good movie, and
Mhm.
it's like it's in Best Picture conversation. Like if it gets nominated, hell, if it even wins, it'd be like, yeah, all right, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, cool. Not a bad movie. I'll take it, you know. But
Also, another fellow Hamaguchi head, apparently. Evil
Yeah,
does not
yeah, shout
exist
out
at
Kale.
number 1. Yeah, good taste.
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
so upset I didn't get to catch that, but oh well. I'll make sure. I will.
Dude, it was such a pain in the ass to watch because the Criterion Channel did the thing where it's like, hey, you've never heard about this before, but we're going to stream this movie only once, and it's going to be a live stream, and that's literally the only way you can watch. Again, I'm very grateful. I've been a subscriber to the Criterion Channel for forever, but it's like, guys, like, This is 2024. Give me an easier way. Like, make it so that I can't rewind, that I can't pause it, do all that stuff, but let me watch it when I have free time. Because it just aired at like 4 p.m. Pacific on just a random day. I was like, I got stuff I gotta do. What's going on, man? But still a beautiful movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got to see that one. I'll toss over to Max in a second, but I will just say the only two Hamaguchi films I've seen are Drive My Car and Wheel of Fortune and Fantasy. And I only saw
Excellent.
Wheel of Fortune and Fantasy because I went to go watch the Obayashi's last movie, Labyrinth of Cinema, and I saw a poster for that at the there's one of those theaters in Beverly Hills, like the Lumiere or something like that, where I saw that. I was like the only one in the theater, but I was like crying. And then I saw the poster for that, and I was like, well, that looks good. Maybe I'll watch that. So I just got a ticket and watched it there, and I was like, oh, this is fucking good.
Yeah,
So
it was great movies all around. The dude knows cinema. Also, a pupil of Kiyoshi Kurosawa, one of my favorite Japanese filmmakers.
oh yeah. Everyone go watch Cure.
Hell yeah! Watch
and-
Cure, watch Chime.
Pulse.
Pulse.
I pulled the
Pulse.
trigger on him this year, also in the lead up to Chime, and I really need to rewatch Cure because it's again a film that has sat with me, and I feel like there's so much to dissect from it. But Pulse is, Pulse is really good.
Incredible movie.
I don't know if Chime is going to make anybody's list, but shout out to Chime. That is 45 minutes of red.
Chime almost made mine, but the fact that it was an NFT movie first made me remove it.
Oh, no.
Valid. I haven't seen it yet.
So it's 2020 energy.
I think if it's an NFT movie, people are going to do what they will with screen capture materials.
Dude, I was this close. I was like,
know?
okay, like maybe I can rent it or whatever. I was like, how much could an NFT cost to rent? What, like $20? It was like $2,000 if I wanted to own
Nope.
the NFT. I was like, what the heck?
Nope.
Thankfully,
Mm-mm.
Beyond Fest did a screening with Chime and then Cloud, his new movie that I haven't had a chance to watch because it came out when I was in Japan, but there were no English subs available for it. As is Serpent's Path. I haven't watched Serpent's
Oh, yeah.
Path
Oh yeah, I saw you at that screening.
yet.
That's right.
Good luck, Drew Hunter. You've got 24 hours.
Yeah, thanks for everyone who's commented in the chat too. And
Yeah. I apologize. I've been locked in, but I'll be looking at the comments while Max goes over his top 5. Please, Max,
Yeah.
take it away.
All right, so I'll just roll from the 10, and then I'll throw in the curveball that is not Nosferatu. So for me, number 10 is The Order.
Wait,
that is-
so we're just to be clear, we're
deeply
doing 5 honorable mentions then. in the
I
top five.
I know.
Okay.
I'm doing the top 5. I'm just quickly going off the 10 because I
You-
feel like
you
I
got
have
it,
to
yeah.
mention the 10, Eczema, Rebel Ridge, Hundreds of Beavers, and then my top 5 is The Beast, I Saw the TV Glow, Love Lies Bleeding, Red Rooms, A Different Man, and then Nosferatu's coming in, and I don't know where, but it's in my top 5 suddenly. So The Beast is probably getting pushed out to number 6. I'm so sorry, but yeah, of the films, I think Red Rooms and A Different Man Red Rooms, I think, is very prescient for today. If anyone has not checked it out yet, please look at Brandon Streisnick's writing on it. Look at oh god, I'm suddenly blanking on writer names. Stephen Zong, is that his name? Is that the film critic?
I'm not sure.
You know what? Forget I said that. It's live. Whatever. Anyways, please check out all the writing on Red Rooms. It is extremely well done. It is very harrowing about our relation to what is it to true crime and violence and murder in today's society. And so I highly recommend that. And then A Different Man, I think Sebastian Stan's getting one of the best lead actor performances this year. He's utterly fantastic. Adam Pearson is fantastic for his role, and it's a really beautiful cosmic, joke of a self-hating movie, and I can't recommend it enough.
Yeah, shout out Sebastian Stan and Adam Pearson. I'll just mention I those movies didn't make my top 10 or top 5. A Different Man or The Apprentice, but Sebastian Stan really fucking came to work this year, and
He really did.
he's not gonna, when that franchise can no longer sustain employing people. I think he'll be okay. And Adam Pearson is fucking phenomenal in A Different Man. And kind of wish they put some award season money into that movie.
Yeah.
It feels like that would be an interesting one to get, a deserved one to get some acclaim, even though again it's not in my top 5 of the year. But it's all the award season movies got really interesting right at the end of this year, in my opinion, and now there's too many to catch up to. You know, it's like
Yeah.
there's going to be stuff falling through the cracks for everyone, unless it's like literally your job to keep up with them. So respect to everyone. Oh, shout out Maggie Kennedy, friend of the show, whose top 5 includes Dune Part 2, Challengers, Nosferatu, Civil War, The First Omen, and since we're doing honorable mentions, Transformers 1, Anora, and Better Man.
There you go.
So we actually saw Better Man, which isn't in my top 5, but that's an honorable mention for me.
Yeah, Transformers 1's great. Really enjoyed that.
Everyone says it's great.
It's wicked for guys.
I don't know.
When Optimus Prime sings "Defying Gravity."
Yeah.
You know what?
I'm sorry, Optimus. He's not a Prime, right?
Oh, okay. Oh, they're going like that far back.
I have no idea.
Transformers lore.
I just like, oh, he's like a kid now. All right.
Yeah. It's a Hemsworth Prime.
Yeah.
Chris Prime. He's
There
a
you
good
go.
contender for the best Chris's in Hollywood
Chris,
now.
yeah.
So
There you go.
you know. But Max, those are some great choices. We saw a movie together yesterday that I think we both wanted to put higher on our lists, I think. But we it happens sometimes. But that's what it is. Gene, do you
I've been thinking about it all day, and I don't know. I haven't finalized anything yet. I was actually in the process before I joined of writing something much longer on it, but I figured I'd just throw it on Letterboxd. But it's been there. I've had some conversations and I've read some things, so I'm still thinking about it.
Okay. Yeah. I no, we didn't dislike. I'll just say we saw Nosferatu together and we didn't dislike it. It was just like I was hoping for like a jolt of electricity to hit me with that movie. And I was like, no, this is really well made. This is really good. And it doesn't give me much to think about. It does all the work for me, which is like not a bad thing. I wanted more, but it's a wonderfully made movie, and I'm really glad it's going to do very well.
Yes.
I think it almost made his budget back in like a day or whatever, or like a week. So
yeah,
that's very cool.
Damn, wish I could have went yesterday, but
yeah, I know.
Or maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah. No. I think you would enjoy it quite a bit.
All right, we'll try to see it tomorrow.
Yeah. Before we all head out. And go watch A Better Man. Obviously, which is the movie of the season.
Yeah.
Best musical of the year. And still didn't make my top 5. Sorry. But it's very good, and I didn't know about that. Maggie also said, in accordance to Optimus Prime, he's actually Orion Pax.
Orion Pax, yep.
He's not a Prime yet. And that jolts of electricity are actually Frankenstein's thing, you silly goose. And okay, maybe I walked into that one. I don't know. That's on me. Gene.
Yes.
Would you like to go second to last or last? Do you want to say the best for last for you?
I could go. I could go second to last.
Okay, are you sure?
Yeah, I got my list. Already.
Okay.
And it's not including Nosferatu, which circumstances have kept me away from. So we'll get there eventually. But currently, top 5. Number 5, Challengers. Love that score. Number 4, Dune Part 2. Everyone loves Timmy. 3, Furiosa. That did not get enough love, but saw it twice, so good enough love for me. Number 2 is Alien Romulus. Love it. And the first one is The Brutalist, which I really enjoyed. That was it.
Yeah.
Very long though.
I did not expect The Brutalist to be your number 1.
Yes, I really likes it. I saw it right before Christmas, and it felt I don't know. Yeah, it felt like just watching an epic on the screen, just seeing all these years go by, like 40 years. And I don't know, not until the very last like 10, 15 minutes did I feel like the runtime. Most of the time it was feeling pretty brisk. But I thought it was just really, really well-made movie. And would really recommend that one. It felt like with the intermission too. I mean, I saw it at like a Century City AMC, but it reminded me of like being back at ArcLight in Hollywood or something.
A
Just
modern
having,
epic.
yeah, having an intermission and everything, which they did for a few films at ArcLight, which is supposed to come back in 2025. So we will see.
All right, a couple things. One, that's crazy that you saw that right before Christmas. That
Yeah,
it's a great movie. It's fucking heavy.
yeah, it's very heavy.
It's I did not anticipate coming out of that movie a little shaken. Just to let you know like how powerful an experience it is. That's fucking crazy, dude. Are you okay? That's like
Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah,
okay, yeah. I
Yeah.
just wow. And then I'm sorry, what else you saying about oh yeah, that theater. They did say they were going to open it up in 2023, remember? And then they also said in
Yeah.
2024.
well, we'll see.
I think they're just
Nick's-
lying to us.
Nick should know.
Nick, do you know?
I have no idea.
Okay, wait.
Yeah, I'm
Did
waiting
Dean
with
just throw
bated-
you under the bus?
Yeah, I was like, what the heck? I have no idea what he's talking about.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I used to love the ArcLight as well. Everyone did. Max, I'm sorry you're here in LA and you can't go into an ArcLight. It should have been ready for you. I'm
Yeah,
very
you could
sorry
see-
we let you down.
Wait, is there only one ArcLight? Because we actually drove past it on the way back to our room.
Well, that's the body where the theater remains. So-
Yeah.
Okay,
there's-
was
you
that, where
can't-
the, is that where the dome was?
yeah, the
that's where
Cinerama Dome.
was.
Yeah. And like it is
Oh.
still technically physically there.
Yeah,
It's just there's
yeah.
nothing there. You
Yeah.
know? It's like a cold corpse. It's a
Well,
cadaver.
well, people keep seeing them repair there and like do stuff in the property, but it's not opening until an unspecified date,
Hmm.
and then they can't get rid of the dome because it's a historical landmark. So
Oh, is that true?
yes, yeah,
Oh, awesome.
Oh,
Great.
wow.
Good.
Well,
Yes,
maybe
you
it's
get-
just maybe it's just taking a long time. You know, it's not the
yeah,
yeah.
I don't trust them.
yeah.
I don't. I'm sorry. I do
That's
not
right.
trust these authority figures anymore. They've taken us on wild goose chases, and I appreciate the optimism, Gene, but I'm keeping my dukes up.
I will. I'm gonna stay, hopeful in 2025, staying locked in. So that's one of my predictions. I guess we'll see in a year from now. Maybe it'll still be closed. I don't know.
Hey, I hope you are right. I truly do.
Yeah, I hope so. And then you had another point. You were going to talk about Alien Romulus.
No. It was the ArcLight and that you saw the Brutalist. Did you see it on Christmas Eve?
No, we saw it like on the 22nd. So
Okay. So you had time to recuperate.
yeah,
Okay, that's good. That's good. I was very concerned. No, I mean we're doing a digital giveaway of the Alien Romulus
Yeah.
movie, so courtesy of you. So
Mhm.
Yeah. What I don't know. I didn't really like the movie, but I'm glad people like Alien again.
yeah,
And that's cool. It's my favorite franchise. I'll be there for the next one. And Andy is the greatest character in movie history.
Lovely.
You know.
Samantha.
yeah.
Yeah. In a perfect world, David Johnson's getting like awards conversations. Like he's fucking phenomenal in that movie. So there you go. See, that was nice. That was
I
good.
bought this
There you go.
belt, and it was a huge waste of money.
Yeah.
Great S tier dad jokes from him. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
was good.
he's great. He's great. If your heart's not warmed by Andy the android, I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Yeah. Drew Hunter said in a Just World, Reznor and Ross would have that best score Oscar on lock. I'm pretty sure that's in reference to Challengers, and I agree.
Yeah.
You
at
know,
the very
that's
least, a
actually-
nomination. Although I think The Brutalist is probably my pick now for best score. I was really blown away by that one.
Do you
That's
guys
good
have like a top 3 scores of the year?
Oh. I mean, Challengers, The Brutalist, and here, I'll be super nice again, Gene. Alien Romulus. I think that score is fantastic.
It's a good score.
It's a
It's a
great
good
score. And they remixed the entire franchise. You can tell every bit of every Alien movie gets like a little bit. It ends with like the Alien 3 like trombones after
Mhm.
she drops the engineer baby onto the ice rings. Like
Mm.
that's straight up Alien
Mhm.
3. That's Elliot Goldenthal shit, So look at that. I'm being positive.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm giving Junkie XL another year of probation because he did slightly okay with the Furiosa score. You get another year off my shit list.
Yeah.
It's a quieter movie for
Yeah.
sure. But can you actually? Because I know what you're talking about, and I agree with you. Could you actually get on your soapbox and preach the good word about Junkie XL for a minute? Because I completely agree with you about your criticisms.
Yeah, you said something controversial. Right?
Yeah,
No,
I
he
said
just sucks. Sorry.
God, the problem isn't that he sucks. The problem is I've seen the good work he can do, and I just fucking like everybody says Hans Zimmer fell off, and I agree. But every now and then Hans Zimmer is able to put out something like really good or great. But with Junkie XL, it's like, dog, win. Give me another Fury Road. Give me a Terminator Dark Fate. Like, I know you got that, and he just doesn't. He doesn't. And then he came out and he was like, oh, I don't believe in using the iconic score from a movie because it doesn't work. And you know what? In one hand, I kind of get it. You want to chart your own path. But don't chart your own path, and it just sounds like generic monster music 101. Like, what are we doing here?
Right. Yeah. He just really didn't want to use the Godzilla theme.
It's just, I'm trying to hold off on saying he's a hack because you know what? Furiosa was acceptable. It was acceptable in the score department, but he's on my forever shit list. Like, I just,
Nazi heaven.
God, I just, you could
Yeah.
so much. It's really a problem when you open the gate with Fury Road, and then after that, it's just like, that it? You got anything else for me? Like,
Yeah. The
I'm
Fury
sorry.
Road score is legendary. Yeah, I
Yeah.
absolutely have to give him that. But now he's completely fallen off. And Drew Hunter is right. Junkie XL will not see heaven for ditching Ifukubi's Godzilla theme.
No, they should bring back. They should bring back Bear McCreary. Bring him back. Let
Yeah.
him cook with all the sauce in the world. Like, oh my God,
Yeah.
King of the Monsters.
Junkie XL did not like the Superman trailer, I would assume. They remixed the John Williams theme.
Yeah. And I was going to say, like, well, he had a pretty good Superman theme, but no, that was Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
That was Zimmer who had a pretty good Superman
You know
theme.
what?
And-
I will give him credit. I do like his Batman theme, even if it is somewhat just Brom. But you know, I'll give him that with Superman. It's not all fear. Like I said, I like Dark Fate. I think some, and when I say some, I mean very rare parts of Rebel Moon had some interesting scores, but like other than that, I don't see it. I don't see it anymore. Time to start wrapping it up, or you come back. You know, balls of fury. That's it. I'm hopping off my soapbox. I'm tired.
Okay.
No, that was good. That was good. You're right. He needs to do better. That he wasn't the worst part of Godzilla X Kong speaks volumes to me. There you go. Sorry, that was a little mean. I'll go and read the rest of the top fives. If my phone wants to cooperate. All right. After Kale Smith, we got at Cruise Films 26. How's it going, man? Number 5, Maxine. Number 4, Late Night with the Devil. Number 3, Strange Darling. Number 2, The Substance. Number 1, Nosferatu. And at Quebec Films said, as of now, these are unranked. Trap, Christmas Eve at Miller's Point, Megalopolis, Long Legs, and the 11th annual On Cinema Oscar special live from AmatoCon.
Wow.
More like
I'm not caught up on
Megalopolis.
Cinema.
I like Megalopolis. Sorry.
Oh, you like Megalopolis?
I did. No, I joked and I said Megaflopolis.
Oh,
but
okay.
Yeah.
But I am someone who actually liked it, warts and all.
Really?
Yeah, I appreciated it. It's people are right to dunk on it. I also think we could stand to have a decent conversation about the movie as it exists as well. But also, like, kind of dug its own grave. But I did like it. I do admire it, even though it is like you do kind of feel like you're going crazy watching it. Or you feel like him undergoing the effects of dementia as he made the film. He doesn't have dementia. I'm not saying that. It feels like that as you're watching it. It feels like he's losing his mind. And you're like, well, you know, it's not in my top 10. It's not in my top 25. But if it had to exist, I'm glad I saw it. You know, I guess I'll get on my soapbox for a second, and then I'll do a quick rundown of my 5 because I don't think they're as interesting as your guys's. But I guess my thing with Megalopolis, a movie that is not in my top of the year, is that it feels like when an artist starts their creative journey, not everyone comes fully formed right out of the gate, like a Steven Spielberg or a Michael Mann or Catherine Bigelow, right? Sometimes it takes them like a second to find their footing. Like, you make your first short film or whatever, and it's like every idea you've ever had. Maybe it's not super good, but it's like, okay, that's like, this is everything you want to like express, and it's completely untethered and unbound. And you want to be able to look back at that and see like, oh, this is how they got started with that, right? And then as they go along, Francis Ford Coppola then makes The Godfathers, The Conversation, Apocalypse Now, and you're like, oh, this is the dude at the height of his powers. Megalopolis feels like he's gone into like a full Ouroboros of that journey, and now he's back at like the untethered, unbound thing where it's like, but now he's out of time, it feels like, and he doesn't have enough time to express everything he wants to express, and that's why it's kind of a mess. And I appreciated that in its own way, less about the conversation of is it good or bad. Just like I got a little sad watching it. I'm like, oh, this dude, I think he's like pleading that he's out of time and he wants to do more and leave more behind, and maybe is ashamed of what he was unable to leave behind. I don't know. It was a very interesting experience, despite it also having truly terrible sequences and performances.
Not very good. No.
At times. But whatever. Let me just jump into my top 5 really quick. Number 5 is Furiosa. Number 4, Rebel Ridge. Number 3 is The First Omen. Number 2 is The Beast, which I saw a little later and was fucking blown away by. Number 1 is I saw The TV Glow. It's one of my favorite movies of the decade so far, basically. Jane Schoenbrunn is a terrific voice, and I am like frothing at the mouth to see what they do next. I really loved We're All Going to the World's Fair, and this is such a massive step up in not quality, but in, because there wasn't anything wrong with the quality, but just in terms of production. It's like, oh, they can like, you can go from something done on a laptop seamlessly, in my opinion, to a feature-length film that's still expressing something personal about identity and gender, and it's a trans narrative without ever using those words. I think it was the Red Letter Media guys. One of them brought up that like, oh, this is a trans narrative, and the other guy was like, what? When did they say that? And it's like, you just completely over the head, and it's like, but it still worked for I think Mike. It was because there's a narrative that kind of like, it's there to kind of almost sneak by people who would get like very conservative and critical of like, oh, why is that in my movie, But
also it's a very universal theme as well. Like, not even the transness is, I think, very apparent, but also it's theme of just you are running out of time to live the life you truly deserve to live. I think it's a very universal theme, and it's very harrowing. Like, God, nobody deserves to be stuck in that except for the worst of people.
Yeah. And I mean, hey, if I can get a little nicer, inspired by Gene's positive outlook, like maybe even the worst people don't deserve to be that. Maybe, that change of who we are, that evolution of who we can be to who we want to be, to be happier, to live a life that's more fulfilling, right? And honest and truthful. Maybe even the bad people need that, like to not be so fucking fucked up and evil and shit. Like at the end of the day, like I do want that, I want these dickheads to like grow and be better. Now, will they? Not up to me. And so long as they are dickheads, then I will be angry about them. But I think everyone deserves to be better for themselves and the people around them. Also, the discourse about whether or not it's a horror movie, it's absolutely fucking horrific. Because it is a downer, the movie. I think that's a fucking very scary.
It wasn't a horror movie. I must have missed that discourse.
Oh, you're so lucky.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was up for contention, but all right.
Yeah.
I also think that Jane did a good job of kind of transporting the audiences, because I think everyone has a different relationship to media that only they were interested in, and how they found that media and how it was spoke to them. And I think Jane did the difficult task of kind of bringing it to life and bringing you back to the moment that you found the thing that spoke to you on a level that it didn't speak to other people, and the particulars of it. Like I'm always thinking about that opening where Justice Smith's character is walking through the election like lunchroom, and all the tables are flipped upside down, and the person reading the pink opaque episode guide is just sitting on the floor of like some empty cafeteria with all the tables up there. It's just like that is such a unique and like that happened to you, Jane. Like you were in that cafeteria when that happened. And I think all of us have some, oh yeah, I remember being at school at this weird time of day just because of X, Y, and Z. And I don't know, it's just the verisimilitude of there's so much texture in that movie, and it really feels palpable, the atmosphere. And it's so tasty.
Yeah, no, that's great. A great note too, because I think some people had, not in a critical way, but were analyzing it like, oh, it's about the effects of nostalgia and trying to get back to something. And I don't think that's what the movie's trying to do specifically. I think you're right. I think it's about like almost like that gateway into how media can like express certain things about ourselves and to ourselves. But I do think that's also a gateway for the people that assume it is about nostalgia and memory, you know.
Yeah.
Like it's just the beginning of that journey. And
I think it's
yeah.
a relationship to nostalgia. I think both the good and bad of it. Like I think it's a like any other drug. It can have its positives and its downsides, but I think it's just in moderation. It's an interesting thing to dabble with.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I fucking love this movie. I cannot wait to see it again, frankly. And even though it is a downer, I do think there is a read where it's like they don't have to end there, you know, whether or not you think the character does. It's like, no, there is still time. That light's still shining, you know. Well, I know maybe that character doesn't get to live a happy life, maybe, but you know, you don't have to subjugate yourself to that. You don't
Great
have to-
album too. If we're talking about scores, great album.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Everything else was kind of talked about, and I've talked about First Omen ad nauseum, but I will just say again,
banger.
fucking, that's another one I was completely blown away by. Didn't hear about it. Gene was like, "Do you want to go watch it?" And I was like, First Omen, Omen prequel, scraping the bottom of the barrel these days, aren't they? And then I'm like, who the fuck is Arkasha Stevenson? Holy shit, dude.
I was similarly rug pulled of like, all right, it's streaming. All right, sure, why not? I'll check it out. I was like, oh shit, sitting upright and just like locked in, enthralled from beginning to end. And yeah, that's a good ass filmmaker.
Yeah. Not that I need this for all movies, but because it's a period piece, it totally feels like a movie that was shot like in the late 60s, early 70s. Like the slow zooms, the way they shoot like the landscapes to establish the setting, the use of like the interior space. Like it was so specific. If you like dusted off a film print of this in 25 years, I think people would be tricked into thinking like it's older than it is. And because someone else, I'm completely just waiting to hear what they do next, because I'll be there day one for Arkasha Stevenson. That was a fucking amazing debut. She got her work in like television first, like she's been in TV stuff. There was that one sci-fi show that she did a season on that she directed. It's yeah, I don't know. I
work on Servant.
Servant. You know, let me just look this up. I wanna give her flowers before we start
Yeah,
closing out.
Yes.
I know Nell Tiger Free worked on Servant.
Okay, no. So Arkasha Stevenson worked on Channel Zero back in 2018, and she does the
Oh.
entire third season. And I've heard
The
that's
sci-fi series.
Yeah. And she did an episode of Legion and an episode of Brand New Cherry Flavor. Two things that I think were, kind of under the radar, especially Brand New Cherry Flavor. I really like that one. Netflix, I mean, not to say it like it is, but I think Gene called
Hey,
it.
Rebel Ridge is in your top 5.
Yeah, well, that broke through. I wasn't saying anything about quality for the record of Netflix. And I don't think Gene is either. I think it's just some of these things can go under the radar because it's like they have to promote Red One or something.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. Yeah. Anything else we want to shout out? Anything we want to hype up before we leave? Because I think it was a very good year for movies. I think
Yeah.
maybe big budget stuff not so much, but other avenues of movies got very interesting, especially towards the end of the year.
I'd
I
like to
agree.
ask if anyone had any favorite discoveries, like new to you discoveries this year. I know I had a few. They're mostly Michael Mann related. But if anyone else had any, I'd be curious to hear that.
Man, new discoveries. I'm trying to think. I'm sure I've got something, but when I don't have see, the problem with Letterboxd is I no longer retain to memory what movies I've seen because I have an app that does it for me now.
Yeah.
So I can never remember what I've seen.
Well, here, shout out Matt Garingo in the comments, Emperor OTN, who said, "I missed Diego's picks, but he's a coward." Hello,
Darn.
Matt. Can't wait to record with you early next year, aka the end of the week. Favorite discoveries for me? I will pick a movie and then I will pick a not movie. Not movie, because I shoot film photography a lot, possibly too much, considering my wallet situation. Ilford, they develop black and white film. They have an offshoot of called Harmon Phoenix, which is done for as color film. It's the first color negative film produced in like over a decade, I think, because Kodak kind of owns like a monopoly on that, especially in America. And it's a wonderful film if you want your stuff to look like Wong Kar-wai's 90s work or Tony Scott's work at any period of time. I first saw it at Comic-Con with Gene. Gene didn't know this. I was just doing it around Gene. And some of it's very interesting, like the color affectations and stuff. It's a very experimental film because it's brand new. They're discovering how this first batch is going to be received, and they're like going to make tweaks on the next batch. So the rolls I own right now will not be the same type of film whenever they release the next batch in the coming years. So I just thought it was, very cool, and I'm very happy. I got a lot of it for Christmas, so I was just like, well, I guess I know what I'm shooting on next year. And yes, Matt, actually, my pick for a movie discovery is something from the failed fantasy blockbuster retrospective. So it was Dragon Slayer. I was really impressed by Dragon Slayer. I'd never seen it before, and I really, really liked it. And it definitely feels like the type of fantasy movie that we don't get. We talked about it in the episode, but it's like you get the big epic Lord of the Ring attempts, or you get something sillier and goofy like Dungeons and Dragons. These are positives, in my opinion, but something in the middle would be nice once in a while too.
I'll say for myself, just really quick running down my top 5 for the new discoveries this year that I haven't seen before. Like I said, it's very Michael Mann heavy, but it's Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, The Insider, Michael Clayton, Thief, Manhunter.
Man,
I saw Thief for the first time in theaters back in February. I literally was just randomly walking around Amsterdam, saw it was playing. I'm like, I'm going. And blew my socks off. And for a while, it was my number 1. And then for long legs, I decided to watch Manhunter. And it's like, I think maybe that might be like my favorite movies of all time. Like, cannot wait to rewatch it. It's so good. But yeah, those 5, and it's a much bigger list, but those 5, they mean something to me. And I saw Kiss Kiss Bang Bang actually a few days ago, and in theater, and that was a riot. So.
Yeah, I like those lists, and Manhunter is like a top 5 for me. On some days, I think that is my favorite movie. So I'm really glad whenever people respond to that. Good choice. Nick, Gene, anything else?
Just for like things that I discovered. Probably like a lot of horror movies we discovered, I guess, kind of getting like the short film I was doing earlier in the year, trying to find like appropriate sort of like ways to like get into that. So it was like Fire in the Sky, which was like an alien abduction movie.
Oh, hell yeah.
Trying to do like influences. I think the X-Files movie, the first one, rewatched that before filming.
Wasn't there an alien abduction movie that came out at the beginning of this year that was like straight to Hulu that I thought was really fun?
They're not here to save you.
Yeah, You Will Not Be Saved.
Yeah,
there you go.
yeah.
No one will save you. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah. But yeah, it was that one I tried not to watch that like immediately before, but yeah, that was
Very
probably
fair.
right in it. And then like McPherson tape. If anyone's seen that one, very like
No,
chilling.
I haven't.
It's like Blair Witch before Blair Witch.
I
Oh,
almost,
okay. No,
I almost
haven't
did
seen
it
that
for
one.
Spooktober. Almost did it for
Yeah.
Spooktober.
Yeah.
Anytime anyone mentions alien abduction movies, I always have to bring up a straight to TV movie that I watched when I was a child that scared the hell out of me and still does to this day. I rewatch and revisit it. It's equal parts found footage along with like that late night TV, like we
Oh.
paused and it's a dramatic reenactment. It was like
Yeah.
UFO expert weighs in on this thing you just watched. It's called The Incident at Lake County.
Yeah, that's for the McPherson tape. That's
Oh,
a
is that what it
remake.
is?
Yeah, it's a remake. I watched that after we filmed it, but yeah, the same guy remade it, but now it's like at Thanksgiving. The family gets abducted.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
That's
It's
really
a
chilling.
cool format, really
Mhm.
cool format of like just a thing you happen to tune into really late at night. It's like,
Yeah.
what is this? What is this? Is this real?
Mhm. A lot of 90s kids were spooked. Yeah, but influences. I was going to say also, Lisa Frankenstein was great, because Maggie was
Yes.
mentioned in the comments. Good movie.
Yeah. I was gonna end with the comments that Maggie said that she failed goth weird girls, aka herself, everywhere by not mentioning Lisa Frankenstein. That's number 6 for sure for her.
Yeah.
And then the final comment is from Matt, who discovered that there is no death. A body is only a vessel.
He's getting his Nosferatu on. I can feel it, energy zooming from that comment. Exuding, not exuding. Sorry.
What better way to end the episode than with that comment? And again, double check if anyone else had anything else they want to throw out before I end the stream.
I'll just really quickly plug A4E really quick.
Yeah.
I am
Yeah.
on vacation currently. I did not participate in the latest episode that happened yesterday because I was flying in. No, I was already here actually. But they had Alex, who is Perfect Headshot, Head Exposure at Head Exposure on Twitter and on Blue Sky. They had him on to talk about this year in action. He had a very, very big action year review video. I have not watched it myself yet. I haven't had time, obviously, but they had him on to talk about that, and I want to plug his account, his video. He brought in people all around for action film Twitter and getting their opinions on things like Liam for the Beekeeper, 100 Yards, Life After Fighting, and so much more. And so, really want to plug his work and the latest episode we just did. I can't wait to listen to it. And I guess because I don't know if they talked about it, I do think action this year, the Stun Awards, Brandon Streisnig, please vote for those. The deadline is January 6th. Don't laugh, I know. But it's January 6th, so vote for your favorite stunts, either in action or non-action. I just finished mine a few days ago once I finished the order, and I cannot recommend to vote for that because the more participation Brandon gets and Vulture gets through filling out that Google form, bigger stunts become, the more we might actually get it to push it to not real legitimacy. It already is legitimate, but like, you know what I'm saying, getting it to the Oscars or something, then they can really start to recognize it. I had a hard time with it this year because there is no clear front runner like John Wick 4 was last year. However, I did realize Furiosa took up a bunch of slots. So there is that. But yeah, please get in touch with Brandon and Vulture and participate in the Vulture Stun Awards. There's plenty of action films that deserve your love for 2024.
Yeah, I'll put a link to that once this episode is back up on YouTube tomorrow for New Year's Eve, because I'd really like people to participate in that as well. And I really love the work Brandon's done with that, and Bill Goodwich, who helped I think kind of introduce that to the Vulture groups, and yeah, that's really fantastic work. Great plug. Links down to all of our stuff below. Max, thanks for joining me. Nick, great meeting you in person this year, by the way.
Yeah,
that was great.
wonderful to run into you, man.
Yeah, Comic-Con, where miracles happen.
Yeah, it was a fun one.
Yeah,
Yes.
and an exorbitant amount of alcohol. But yeah, I fingers crossed we can get back together this year, because that was super cool. And
Let's
that
make it
place
happen.
that place is awesome. Links down to Nick's stuff down below, and of course links down to Gene and I stuff. Thank you everyone for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks to our patrons. Thanks to Matt, to Maggie, to everyone in the comment section, Drew. Max, thanks for all your help this year. Hopping on and
Yeah, thank you.
stretching your editing muscles with us, and really being a great pal and good editor, good support system, great producer for A4E. Gene, thanks for all your hard work. Thanks for being my friend. Thanks for being my co-host. Matt Gringo as well in the comments. Yes, I will text you back later. I wouldn't be doing this without you guys. We wouldn't be doing this without anyone listening and checking in. So yeah, I can't wait to do this again next year already. All right, this has been a real pleasure, and as always, we have been professionally unprofessional. Happy New Year, everyone.
Yeah,
Thanks, everyone.
Happy New Year.